Today, I have with me a freelancer, the head of an agency, and he has done so many fantastic things, and we can learn from his wealth of knowledge. And on Upwork, he has earned over $400,000. Welcome, Narcis.
Thank you very much, Sunday, for having me on this interview episode. I followed your show with a couple of episodes before, and I saw that you have a high quality people that are bringing value to other people that are at the beginning of the journey or that they want to improve themselves. So thank you again for having me here.
Yo, thank you. Okay, so Nachis, it's a privilege having you on the show today. Considering the fact that you had a remarkable success on Upwork, you have earned $400,000 on Upwork, you have completed over 241 jobs on Upwork, and all these jobs come with very good review, five-star reviews. And this is a place where many freelancers listening to us right now are aspiring to be. What are the unpopular strategies you would recommend to help people get high-value projects on Upwork and probably off Upwork and maintain client satisfaction like you?
Right, so that's a very good question. Regarding Upwork and everything, actually with the agency and everything, I think we passed over 500,000 income just from Upwork because we have also an agency at the same time besides my personal profile. I would suggest, first of all, for the people that they want to start with Upwork freelancing or they want to level up their game, have a very good knowledge on your niche that you want to enter, be an expert or try to improve to be at that level, at the expert level, or if you are at the entry level, try to improve all the time your steps. Do a competition analysis, see exactly who are you fighting with over the projects, see exactly what type of clients are you looking for. For example, I can give you right now a tip, like if you are at the beginning, don't go for super big contracts because you have super low chances and what's happening right now on Upwork with the bids and everything. I would suggest you go for entry level jobs, exactly what's your profile also, so you have a very good match with it. So that would be my advice on it. Like for high profiles, that's a little bit difficult to say because I can give you a personal example. I started the contract with a company. It doesn't matter what company, but it was a big company. And we started the contract with about $15, and that company became one of my biggest clients ever with almost 47K total earnings. So it depends a lot on what the client wants, what's your evolution with the clients during the project. And from then on, you can evolve to other projects with the client or develop a deeper relationship with the clients and have a go with them, develop several projects from that.
Wow, lovely, lovely. I love the fact that you actually shared an unpopular or common strategy for people out there, for even I myself as a freelancer, because we learn every day and try to get better and better. The fact that I'm top rated plus doesn't mean I don't have a lot to learn myself, and that is why I bring experts like Narcis to the Freelance Spotlight to share his knowledge with us. Thank you, Narcis. Okay, so now, Narcis, I know you're invited to Upwork's event sometimes ago. Can you share the highlights of the event with us? Some of the things you were able to teach and some of the things you also learned, the highlights of that event.
First of all, I need to get back a little bit and explain my situation right now. So I moved to Canada about 2 years ago almost. But when I was in Romania, because of my high and super fast evolution in Upwork, for example, I started Upwork in 2016, at the end of 2016, beginning of 2017. After I start Upwork, because I had a marketing background for about 10 years, that helped me a lot with understanding the platform, how things works and everything. In 3 months after starting freelancing, I quit my job, and in another 3 months, I had my first company. So I was lucky based on my background and knowledge to have a super fast evolution in freelancing and Upwork itself. So we started to go to these events first as a guest and after that as a speaker at least 6 7 times for Upwork. And at these events what I was teaching them, I was teaching them, actually we were discussing mostly with entry levels, but there were also other speakers that they were at a high level speaker and with a lot of experience. We were teaching them exactly how to understand the platform, the mentality of a client, how to approach them, techniques of negotiations and everything about that, but mostly how to understand the platform, because when you are at the beginning and think like when we did that, this was like way 5 6 years ago, so the platform was way different on what it is right now. You didn't have the bids, you didn't have to fight so hard for the projects and everything. So at that point, we were teaching them the basics, how to create a profile, how to set up a very good proposal for a client, how to get the first project. So elementary basis things that they need so they can start this type of life and they can improve themselves in the future as a freelancer.
So that is amazing. And I love the fact that you made mention of Upwork competition. Like the platform is getting more competitive day by day. And you have made some suggestions to us on how to beat this competition. So personally for you, what is the major challenge you encountered on the platform and how did you overcome it?
I didn't had a lot of challenges of the on the platform because, for example, when I started in the first day, I created a profile, I did an analysis over the competition, see exactly what were the prices, and me as a newbie, how would I manage to get myself in that niche with the YouTube marketing? And I applied, I think, for 5 jobs, and until Monday, I already had like 2 contracts. So either I was lucky or was based on my experience. So I didn't have any type of troubles. But again, as you said, you have a very good point that the competition that was 7 years ago, 6 years ago, is not the same as the competition that it is right now, which is, yeah, it's super high. The level is super high over the competition. That's no doubt about it. And with the bids and everything, it seems that the platform, I don't know exactly what directions they have because recently they made some major changes without even consulting with the freelancers. Like, for example, a redundant thing that they did. I don't know if you noticed that also. When you send the proposals or when you accept a contract, you have this thing now, like when you want to renegotiate with a client, like 3 months after you start the contract, 6 months, never, whatever is the case, which I think like 0.0001% will apply that method.
I think I know what you're saying. Setting an increment in your fee, like over time after
Right,
working with the client. The
right.
new feature they just added. I don't think I'm going to use that feature because I don't want to create any friction between me and the client. And the client is still at the talking stage with me, like a relationship. So I don't want to bring in anything that will bring about a friction and the client will get discouraged from hiring me. So I think I get your point. Love that. So let's talk about your collaboration with mentors like Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi on Project Best.
Right.
That sounds incredible and exciting. Could you share some takeaways from that encounter and how it has influenced your life personally?
So I get them. I got them as mentors. I think 2 years ago when I went, they had this course of Time of Success, and I went at that course. It was a 14-day course online with them teaching things and stuff. Very interesting. We didn't have like one-to-ones or things like that because they are mostly working with masses or super high tech people, super high selling tickets that they will go in these micro rooms like where they will talk to each other. But having that experience with the masses and having those teachings, especially with Tony, that Tony is doing this for like 40 something years, like it's something crazy. It's clear that they have mass audience, mass success. So I took a lot of things for them, and actually some of the things I just came back from Europe where I was presenting myself a course to a company for about 2 days, and some of the things that I learned from them, from Tony and Dean, I applied to that course that I created for the company. So a lot of things also in the community themselves. I made a lot of very good connections, people that I'm talking almost daily about business, how to be more successful, motivation, that's something also interesting, books that you need to read and stuff like that.
I love that. You know, my takeaway point from what you just said now is the part of you implementing what you learn. We have a couple of persons who learn and learn and learn and get trapped in that loop of learning. Like they acquire knowledge, which is a very good thing. And if you are the kind of person, I encourage you to continue. But then they acquire knowledge without implementing it. So I really love the fact that you implemented what you learned from Tony Robbins. Thumbs up. So if you are listening to us right now, whether on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Music, on Amazon, please comment thumbs up in the comment section to appreciate Narcis for the amazing insight he's sharing on this spotlight. Narcis is still in the spotlight. Narcis, I want to ask you a question. At some point, you're probably on a 9 to 5 job. Are you able to transition from a 9 to 5 job to doing your own thing? That is from freelancing on Upwork to running your own brand agency. And what do you have next in mind?
I would suggest for somebody that intends to do something like that, first of all, you need to have this interior power that you want to achieve more than your status at the level that it is today, for example. So I had this thing like, let's say 14 years when I was doing like side things to generate extra income. Like either I would have a blog or I would sell some things. So I did these side things all the time. I had this in me, like I want more than what was my status at that point. So I suggest you, first of all, improve your motivation, have a lot of desires to want more for you and for your family, if that is the case at that point, and you are inside the family already, you have kids and everything. And by the way, I have friends that they started freelancing at 45. So that's the beautiful thing about freelancing. Freelancing has no age. If you are good on something, if you know your skills, you can go and start freelancing at any age. That's the beautiful thing. Regarding quitting the job, that was an easy decision to make because, as I said, in 3 months, I think I did on Upwork the amount of money that I would do in that I would have done in a 1 year work at my 9 to 5 job. So it didn't make sense for me to stay in that environment anymore, since I saw already the possibility to do much more.
Wow, oh, I love that. You know, I had a similar experience. Like when I quit my 9 to 5 job, there was a particular month where I did times nine of my salary. Like I got 9 times my salary in just 1 month. And that is amazing. That is what freelance can do. And like Narcis has shared, freelancing has no age restrictions. I understand that it is people between maybe like 25 to like 34 that are most interested in freelancing in my country. But then like age, anybody can freelance. I think the older people needs it more because they don't. In my country, there's traffic congestion. That's one of my own most discouraging factor about 9 to 5. So I spend like 2-3 hours in traffic. So I am more stressed by the traffic than by my work. I really love my work when I was on the 9 to 5, but then the traffic was very stressful. You understand? So like I think
Right.
freelancing is for everyone
Right.
irrespective of age. I love that point.
Right. So if I may add something, like when I was going to work, I was doing like 1 hour to work and 1 hour back. So that was killing me. Plus staying at the job another 8 hours. So it was like 10 hours per day. I was staying more at work than with the family itself, and I have two small kids. So another factor would be that with freelancing, you get a lot of flexibility. You have the possibility, for example, if you don't have a family, you want to go nomad, you can do that with just a laptop and a card. You go in Bahamas or whatever is the case, and you do freelancing from there. I know people that in my country that they did that. They went nomad after they start freelancing, and they had a little bit of success already. They started nomad and they've been traveling since then. So freelancing has a lot of things in terms of pros. In terms of cons, I will say that the only thing that is not secure is that you have contracts all the time. You need to fight for them. So that's the only unsecure thing. But what I would suggest if is for people to focus and go on long contract projects. Now, this will depend a lot also on your niche that you're in. For example, my niche, it's allowing me to do that with a possible client to, let's say, a strategy for a 6 to 1 year. So I know that he will work with me to 6 or 1 year on that contract. So it's easy for me. But if this is applicable for you in your niche, I suggest that you go for long contract, develop a relationship with your clients, make sure that you do the best that you can in the contract, and you receive positive feedbacks. And yeah, the results will be there. That's for sure.
Okay, so that's good. Okay, so now talking about freelancing, so I was reading, I think Forbes posted something about freelancing, and I saw a lot of people, I think mostly from the US, commenting that freelancing is an excuse for employers not to pay pension. I have my reservation about that. Some person said freelancing is not sustainable. So you have answered those questions by saying that we should seek long-term projects. And if you have multiple long-term projects and you are delivering an excellent service to all those persons, you can also use the money you get from your freelancing to invest in other businesses and do other things that will also bring in money, helping your multiple source of income growth. So I really love that, Natchez.
Yeah, so another suggestion that I would personally do for freelancers that they already started to get a success and they understand how this works and everything. Once you have a foot in the room in the door, how the Americans say, I suggest that you guys start a company just to make sure, like, if you have things like or reservations about pensions or things like that, just start a company and roll it from there. It's easy to manage.
Wow, that's great. Okay, the main challenge with many people is that maybe when they start agency or start freelancing, as you have encouraged when answering the last question, is that they send out proposals and they don't get feedbacks from clients. So what is this happening to people? Or what can people do to make their proposals stand out from other proposals on the platform? What is the importance of proposals? Or are there other things that needed to be done aside sending proposals?
Right. I think you asked me two things. One would be about the proposals, and the other thing is why clients are not leaving feedbacks after the work, if I understand correctly.
Yeah, you can speak to that.
How to start a proposal? First of all, you need to be very, very original. So the proposal has three stages. Like the first one will be the introduction. If you got an invitation, make sure to address the person by his name. Hello, George, or hi, or whatever is the case at that point. Thank you for the invitation. And after that, right away in the first phrase, just point out how you can help the project. Do not add that at the bottom. Most of the clients are not reaching at the bottom of the proposals. So say it in the first phrase after the introduction and everything. Say exactly how you can help the project, and after that, other elements like past experience, the thank you, the goodbye, and suggest that you have a video call.
I love that. Okay, so that is it. You have had from a 400, okay, and half a million or above half a million earner on Upwork. So I hope we put that to work. Use the name when introducing. Don't say hi dear or dear clients. The person at the other end of the screen is a human being, not
Right.
client. Yeah, so as obvious as it seems, sometimes freelancers forget that the person at the other end of the screen is human, is someone like you and I. So anything you can do to persuade a real human around you, you can do it on Upwork to persuade the person at the other end of the screen. Okay, thank you, Narcis. So let's go to
Right, right,
point.
and I can give you a funny example. I can give you a funny example about this because at the same time I also have a client account on Upwork for one of my companies. So I can give you an example how important is how what's your perspective when you are sending a proposal. I had a job where I think it was virtual assistant that I needed at some point, and from over 100 proposals that I got on that job, somebody wrote me like I need this job because I just got married and I need money.
Wow. So that person
That
appealed
I
to
didn't
your
know if
sympathy.
I should laugh or yeah.
The person appealed to your sympathy, and that might work for some clients. I'm not sure it worked for you. I don't know if it worked for you. I would like you to share. Did that work for you? Did you hire the person?
No,
Okay, so you don't have to. Just
no,
like
no,
it's
no.
just
It didn't work
yeah.
for me.
Okay. So just like what I just said, anything you know you can do to another human to hire you. So maybe he has been using that technique and it's been working. So our listeners and viewers on YouTube, if you have tried that before, you can comment your view about this in the comment section. So let me ask you one more question. This question, since you said you are a client on Upwork, so what are the common mistakes you see freelancers make when they send proposals to you or when they work with you on Upwork? Now, answering as a client on Upwork.
Right, right. I would say like 85% of them are super unprofessional, like no introduction, no nothing. Most of them they are not picking up even what they can improve for my job post that I have. So I need to eliminate those from the start, that's for sure. We have a lack. Upwork is putting you, by the way, Upwork is putting you a lot of things that you can read, you can learn, you can go on YouTube and search. There is a lot of materials on how you should make the proposals, but that again is a lack of self improvement that people are not paying attention to. So that's equal with how much interest you have for your own success.
Lovely. You know, the amazing thing is like this is a typical case study. Like this spotlight right now, a lot of people will start watching it. They are learning from it, but then many people are just too lazy to follow through to the end. So we are almost at the end. So if you are watching this podcast right now and you follow through from the beginning to the end, drop any green emoji in the comment section. Thank you so much for sharing that, Natchez. So I think I'm going to go a bit selfish with the last question I will be asking you on this spotlight. You know, when I woke up this morning, I got an email from YouTube, and the email states that I am being invited to the YouTube monetization program. That's the YouTube partnership program. I wasn't exactly expecting it because I have not reached the 4,000 watch hours. Yes, I have exceeded the 1,000 subscribers. And I think we're presently on 2,000 or more. And now, like, I've been invited to the partnership program and I've filled in my form and sent it to them. So, luckily, on the same day, I am interviewing a YouTube marketing expert, Narcis. So, Narcis, what advice do you have for me or for us on this channel to make things better?
I have a super high quality. First of all, like imagine that a lot of channels are in the same niche, like discussing about how to improve yourself, including freelancing and everything. I'm following some channels. Have a very high quality, have very high guests that we invite over the channel and to the videos to speak from different niches, and make sure that you connect with your audience all the time.
Thank you so much for sharing that amazing insight with us and every other thing you've shared with us as a freelancer on Upwork, as a client on Upwork, and as a YouTube marketing expert. In the real sense of it, I'm thinking that this episode is not sufficient for us to dig into this different aspect of you. Maybe sometimes in the future, we might bring you back to this spotlight to interview you purely as a
Right.
client or purely as a YouTube marketing expert. I hope you would answer our call.
Sure, sure.
Okay, so thank you, Narcis. We have come to the end of the freelance spotlight for this week, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this episode, and don't forget to subscribe so you can see other amazing episodes coming up.